Hi there, Jamie here today at Teachers Tech. Hope you're having a great day today. Today I want to show you how to use the functions index and match in Microsoft Excel. So these are two separate functions in Excel, but when you put them together, they can become very powerful. So let me give you a little demo of what we're going to create today. So let's say I have some data like this, and this is just some different streaming services with their quarterly revenue. With index and match and a drop down like this, I can go and choose, let's say if I was looking at a different one, I was choosing Netflix in quarter 3, comes back at $7.43 billion. If I look at Netflix over to the quarter 3, and you can see it pulled from this array right here. So I want to show you how you can use index and match these Microsoft Excel functions to create this here today on Teachers Tech. So if you'd like to follow along with today's tutorial, I'm going to put a link to this spreadsheet down below in the description. Then you can click on it, download it, open it up, and follow along with me. All right, let's get started on how to use index and match in Excel. Now, actually, the first thing I'm going to do has nothing to do with index and match. I'm just going to do a couple drop downs, create a couple drop downs of the different things, so I don't have to type anything in, and that's just using data validation. I have separate videos on that. But in this spot, I want to be able to drop down on the services here. So I'm just going to go up to data in my tabs here, and I look in the ribbon, and here is my data validation right here, this one. So data validation opens. What do I want? Well, it's going to be a drop down, and it's going to be the list. So list, what's my source of this list? I'm going to choose this, and my source is going to be just these streaming services right here. So I'm just going to hit enter and then hit OK. I have my first drop down just like that. So I also want to be able to choose the quarter or total here for a drop down. So I'm going to click in this cell and go back up to my data tools and choose this one again. And I'm going to drop down, choose my list, pick my source, and choose what they're going to be their options like this. Just hit enter and hit OK. So now they'll be able to drop down and choose what quarter or total they want for each of these. Okay, now the first step is going to be using the match function. Now I want to put the match function right here to begin with. And so the first way I'm going to do this is just moving up to the function, insert the function tool. And this is where you can do a search. So I could type in, you can see match is already at the top because I've recently used it. So I'm just going to select this. Now, this walks you through. So what's going to be my lookup value for this first one? Well, my lookup value is going to be what is picked in this cell. So if I click on this cell, so C9, you can see that it equals Netflix. If that changes, then it's going to equal something else. So what's my lookup array? So the lookup array is going to be this over here. So I'm just going to hit enter. And what you see so far, so all that match is going to do is give me back where it's located. So if you look at the result is number 2 here. So if I look, it's Netflix. Netflix is in the second spot. So all it's going to be giving me back with match, it's found that it's going to be in that number 2 column right here. So I'm just going to hit OK and go from there. Now, this doesn't do anything what I wanted to do by itself, but we're going to do one more of these matches, and this is going to be for quarter. Okay, so with the quarter, same thing. This time I'm just going to type in my equal sign and go to match this way. So I'm just going to select match. What's my lookup value? Well, it's going to be this spot right here. And so I'm going to put a comma in. What's the lookup array? It's going to be wherever that is in there. So now this should give me back. So if you look what spot Q3 is in, it should give me back 3 on this one because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 altogether, but this is in 3. Let's hit enter and it gives me back 3. So again, by itself, you're thinking, no, this isn't really providing me anything here. But what I want to be able to do is use index with this. So this is where it gets more powerful to be using these. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways where we can eliminate these where we don't want this showing. We don't even need it when we nest the match function inside index. So what I'm going to do in this spot, and I'm going to hit equals again. And this time I'm going to use index on this. So I'm going to type index, and you can see it comes right up there. Now you could go up and insert the function like I did the first time. So what is the array that it's going to be looking up? So where's the information going to be coming from? That is all through here. So this needs to be selected. This is where it's going to look through and try to find it. I'm going to place a comma in here. So what are my row numbers? Well, actually my row numbers are right now, if I wanted this, I could put the number 2 in and number 3 in here. So I could actually type those numbers and it will give me back. So if I go 2, 3, so just to go back, and I'm going to go back a few times and alter this and hit enter, it gives me back 7.43. You can see Netflix over here in Q3. It gave me back the correct one. But the problem is, if I change this, these aren't linked. So something I could do is go back and reference the cell. So that would be easier because then I could change these. So what I mean is, rather than putting the second and third, if I go back to this 2 right here and just click in this, so this becomes D9. And then on this one right here, this number 3, this is going to become D10. So I hit return. So everything looks the same. The nice thing is now it's linked. So as I choose different ones, so if I was looking at TikTok total, 4.69, is that correct? And if I go up to the total of TikTok, there it is. So this is just rounding a little differently from this one, but it is pulling out this number right here. So this makes it nice because whatever I change here, it will reflect down here. It's more dynamic. Let's say I don't want to use the cell references, what I did here. I want these cells not to be here at all. So what I can do is nest the match function inside the index function. So it's just going to require a bit of copying and pasting, but it's not super complicated. So if I go back to here, and you can see here's my formula right here that I've created with the cell references to D9, D10. If I go, let's say, to this first one here, I can copy this match formula here. So I'm just going to go to here, and I have that selected. I'm going to go Control C for copy, Control C, and hit enter. So to get me out of this. Now I'm going to go to revenue, and rather than referencing D9, I'm going to put that formula. So I'm going to go and just highlight that D9, and I'm going to go Control V. So it's put it into the place where D9 is. I'm going to hit enter. And there I have the first step. Notice nothing's changed yet because I haven't moved these numbers. Now here, if I go to this one, I need to take this. So I'm going to highlight this. Again, Control C for copy, Control C, hit enter so you get out of it so you don't start clicking all over the place and changing the formula. Now, what do I need to replace? Well, this time it's D10 I need to replace. So I'm just going to highlight D10 and do my Control V for paste. And now I have my 2 matches nested inside my index function here. So I'm just going to hit enter. Again, nothing looks like it's changed. Now, if I go and change, you can see everything is making the change here. But now, if I delete these, just like this, they're not being referenced anymore. So now it's all within this formula down here. So if I go to Netflix, you can see how it's changing from here. So I could actually move this spot. So let's say if I wanted this to be over here, I could go to Control, I'm just going to cut it out, Control X to cut it, and then go over here and just paste it over here. I can go back and I can modify this. If I want to put the dollar signs on here, maybe bold it, you can do those things yourself. But now this is using the index in match function. So it's the nested match function inside index that will be able to use any of these to find what I'm looking for. So I hope you like this tutorial here today on how to use the index in match functions here. As I said, together they can be a powerful very powerful way to manage inside Microsoft Excel. You can use other methods too. If you're looking at VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP to search for different things, I'll put a link to my XLOOKUP one because that's a nice, powerful function too, and you can do a lot of things to it. So thanks for watching this week on Teachers Tech. I'll see you next time with more tech tips and tutorials.